Hey guys, I'm so excited to show you my new pin craft. This one's shorter than the bell one that I showed you, I don't know when. So it's a little easier, but it's with the perfume bottles that are so beautiful. I mean, just so gorgeous, right? I just love these. I almost wanted to keep this one, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in pin craft, and then all my crafts, remember, are for sale in my Whatnot shop, either in a show or in the shop. They'll be for sale. So you can always check it out there. I'm excited to show you this one. It's a little simpler than the Bell one, but I think it's still pretty cool and still pretty neat. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Comment, share, like, all the things. And just thanks for tuning in, you guys. I just appreciate it. So thanks. Hey guys. So here's our pin. Just, I don't know if you could have seen it as well in the intro video, but I love this pin. The glitter doesn't show as well when it's flat, but it's so cute. Look at Ray. Anyway, so we're gonna make our little craft. So the first thing I always like to tell you guys when you do this, you know, some of these crafts that have more complex parts, you want to make sure you do your storybook friends dies first. So these are little metal pieces that cut out paper. So here's a little frame that was cut out with this frame, and we used this one here. We used this piece, which goes in this. Now you can buy this die cut set at fabulousstamper.com and then click on shop with me, and it should be in the Stampin' Up store. Depending on when you see this video, it should be in the store. Storybook Friends Dies is what they're called. These cut out cute little animals from a stamp set that goes with it. It's very Peter Rabbit style. The paper we're using, before I pull it out, it's this gorgeous paper from, oh gosh, I think this paper is from like at least 5 or 6 years ago. And it is called Expressions in Ink. And it is stunning paper. I savored this paper. I like never wanted to use it. I loved this sheet in particular because I loved all the greens. I love green. Now the back side is very muted, but the front side is this gorgeous gold foil in it. Now this is called marbling, and what they do is they put like different inks and stuff on the top of the water, a special type of water. It's kind of like it's water with treatment and stuff in it. And then what happens is you lay the paper in it, and it gives this cool effect, right? So this part of the water had no ink in it, and so that's how it was all kind of faded out. And then they reproduced this, of course, onto paper. But it's all a process and technique that I just find fascinating. Now the flower one was not done in that manner, but it still was done with, well, it was done with marbling, but it had other elements. Like, see, here's the plain aspect of that other paper, but without the gold added, and much richer blue, greens in this part. Now, they did do marbling here. It just didn't do any of the striping. It was more like dots, and then they added all this gold foil. It's just really cool paper. So if you're able to find it, it's no longer current. So, oh, here we go. It's no longer current. This one is gorgeous. I just love this. But this was a little too dark for Tiana, because Tiana's colors are really this color, you know. And so this paper is gorgeous. I love it. I hope you guys like it. Check it out if you're able to find it. It's called Expressions in Ink paper. If you're able to find it anywhere, it's worth it. I know that Papered Chef does a lot of shows on Whatnot, and she has great stashes of old retired stuff. Oh, the pink one. I forgot about the pink one. I use this one a bunch too. Anyway, she has great stuff. I love her, and she's fantastic. Oh, all right, getting to our card. That was enough rambling about paper. Paper is just one of my favorite things. So I cut 6 by 6. Then I cut this gold at 5 inches by 5 inches. Then I cut this piece at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. It's a little tricky to put glue, white glue on foil. I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I don't want to ruin this beautiful paper, and I don't have a ton of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this right down on the foil, and then we can adjust it and slide it. I know lots of people that glue right on the foil, and it's just fine. I feel a little nervous because I just want to make sure it stays in place, doesn't come up, and doesn't squish out the side. You know, you don't want to get white glue everywhere. So it's just got to be careful. So now we'll go ahead and we'll put the white glue on the back and we'll glue it down to our base. The basics of this card are the same as the bell card. But again, the basics are the same. It's just that, you know, there's no stamping on this one. All right. There we go. That should be good. Beautiful. So now we are going to take our elements that we cut out already. So we've got our base all glued together. Now we're going to take our elements and we're going to cut some excess off. So you got to be a little gentle. I mean, not too gentle, but you know, you got to be gentle in that you're going to cut off the main top crown. Now, don't cut your full frame. Oh no. Dang it. I cut the same piece. Okay, so I cut the same piece twice. So you guys are gonna see me cut another piece quickly, which I normally don't do on camera, but I'm gonna, you know, take this opportunity to show you. So this is a stamp cut and emboss machine. And what you do is you take that little piece that I showed you earlier. We're gonna take this middle piece. We're gonna take a piece of gold paper. I'm gonna take that scrap I was using and we're gonna cut out another piece. Because what happened was I cut out 2 right sides and I need to have a left side as well. And so I'm missing the left side. So we're gonna cut that out right now. Let me grab my layers. So this is the stamp cut and emboss machine. And it comes with these blocks and these little plates. And there's directions on the big block that tell you how to make your sandwich, so to speak. And so you put your little light, small piece, then we're gonna put our little gold piece, then we're gonna put our, we need the left side, so I gotta make sure I got the left side. And whenever you're using foil, you wanna put a piece of, scrap paper on top and then close your sandwich. Because this is so scratched up, sometimes this plastic will damage your foil. And so that's just a tip. So it's actually a good thing that I made this little mistake. It's a little learning opportunity for you. So, whoops. So you want to hold it. You're going to push this through. Oh, of course, it's not going to go through. There we go. You're just going to push it through and crank it through, and it's going to cut out the filigree. It's tedious if you have to do it for a lot of projects, but I like the fact that I get these really gorgeous, ornate pieces. It's just tedious in doing. So now we have a left piece and a right piece. Good. Okay, done. So let me quickly put this away. And you see, look at, here's the impression on just the paper from the sandwich, let alone what it would have done to the foil. It still added like a little bit of texture to the foil. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not as much texture as if I had had it straight with the plastic on top of it. It didn't take too long to cut a side like that. But that's why I try to do it ahead of time, because it can be a little tedious to do in the middle of your craft. Luckily, my table was nice and empty and I could easily switch over to it, you know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip over our big frame. And like I said, don't cut your nice frame. I'm gonna put some glue strip. This is just the tear and tape again, the narrow. This is a narrow one that I got from a paper pumpkin, but you can also use wet glue. You can also use the other tear and tape. I'm just using what I have handy, you know. I happen to have this narrow one, so why not use it? Now, you can use whatever adhesive you like. There's no rule. And we need to match the correct side. Now, most of this is gonna get cut off, so I'm just gonna cut. We want this curl, but most of this is gonna go away. And so it's just tricky when you're putting it on. So hold on, let's go ahead and get it. Let me put a little bit of glue down here. Hang on. Let's put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to just pop this on. And I want the dots to be hidden underneath the frame, but not like sunken so deeply. And that's it. And then we're going to do the same on this other side here. Do the same thing. We're going to take off the back of the glue and add the edging of the frame. Like I said, this one's a little bit faster than the bell, other than the fact that I had to stop in the middle because I had cut the wrong pieces, but I at least got to show you how to use that machine. I love the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine. I really do. There's also a small one, but my small one broke. And I didn't want to spend more money on another small one. So I have just been using the big one and it works just fine, you know? So it's not, they're the same machine. It's just one is more small and compact than the other. And the difference is you also can't do the large, you can't do large embossing and large designs in the small machine. So that is a little tricky. So now be careful. You're going to cut off the excess, but you don't want to cut off this little curl. So I had to be really careful to make sure I didn't cut off this little curl, because I did that once. And so, because you want to have this hidden underneath the arch, but you don't want to cut the curl off. So it's like this tricky balance. Yeah. So, because there's this tiny little bit holding it on. And so it's just, yeah, it's just tricky. And I think I'm almost, there we go. So that is our frame. And you see how this is so much more substantive than just the narrow frame. I wanted it just to have a little more impact than the narrow frame, because I felt like this potion or this perfume bottle is so ornate and pretty. The frame should be pretty decent as well. You know, it should just be a good size as well. So now we're going to, since we've got, ooh, I'm throwing things over here. Sorry. All right, so now we're gonna take, we're not gonna take our paper scissors. You're gonna wanna use some narrow scissors, and I'm just gonna cut, oh, I can cut a really narrow strip here, but I need that for something, so hang on. We need that to go, this super narrow one needs to go at the top and bottom of my frame. So we'll put, I'm gonna put, you know, this piece here. And I'm gonna put this one here. Yeah, good. And then we need to put some on the sides. So I'm just gonna, this piece, I think on the sides, I'm cutting it up because I don't have a longer piece. They make some, I don't know if we make the long strips anymore. So I'm using what I have. And this little piece of dimensionals came in a paper pumpkin kit. And that's like an all-inclusive kit that has all the supplies you need to make a craft. And these were leftover. And so I'm using these. They weren't leftover. I think I used my big ones instead. And I'm using these on this craft today. And these are pretty sticky. So the only thing I want to do with each one of these strips is I want to add a little bit more glue to them because I want to make sure it stays nice. It's not necessary. If it's just for you, fine. I'm going to add a little bit more glue from these tear and tape on the top because I just want to make sure that this foam, whoop, oh, I'm about to rip it. This foam stays nice and sticky. Because I don't know if this is the like 3M quality, you know, dimensionals that we usually use, or, you know, I'm not sure. These dimensionals are different than our normal ones, so they just don't feel as sticky, yet they're sticking to my hands, so they might have been just fine and I'm paranoid, which could very well be the case. So, all right, let me stick this on the bottom one. And we should be good to go. And we're going to be gluing this to a piece of paper, but I just wanted to make sure this stuck down really well because I am going to have this in my Whatnot shop and for sale. A lot of my crafts I'm putting in my Whatnot, like in my Whatnot shows and shop, as well as pins and stuff that I have for sale, but I'm just trying to make sure that oops, there we go. I'm just trying to make sure that I can get a good, you know, maximize the sale of it. You know what I mean? Like I make all these samples. Oh, that's right. One of my friends, Kristen said, it's a sample sale because I already make them for my content. I already make these crafts for my content. And what am I going to do with them? I can't just have 1,000 crafts around the house. So I'm selling them, you know, to help. No, don't fight. My cats are right there and they're like brewing for a fight. And so this is the other side of one of the papers. And so it's really pretty. Hey, stop it. Okay, so you see it's really pretty. It's not as vibrant as the green. But the other side had the gold stripes. So it's not as vibrant as the green, but it's still really pretty. And what we're doing is we're putting it, I think I want more dots at the top. I'm gonna do the more plain part at the bottom. And this piece of paper is 2 inches by 3 1/4. And it's just bigger than our frame. I needed it to be bigger than our frame. No. So now we're going to just cut off any excess that we have around the edge. I'm going to cut even these. Whoops, I almost cut the gold. Okay, just cutting off any edges here because sometimes they'll peek through. This is a little close to the edge, so I'm going to cut this off. I want it to be a real frame. I don't want it to be showing through. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. So it's a nice little frame. The reason why I chose this orange piece instead of another piece that looked exactly the same is a frame doesn't usually show the wall behind it. And I wanted to showcase this green. And so I'm gonna make sure that this is showcased at the top. I guess, no, that way I still have quite a bit and there's more white covered. And so when I even cut this piece of paper, I had to be very careful because as I showed you earlier, it was just a long strip down the middle. So I tried to find the part that had the most focused of this particular green because that's Tiana's green. And the orange picks up, the orange or the peach or whatever really does pick up some of these colors right in here in Ray and in the, oh, they're not thistles. I forget the name of those brush pieces. And in the flower, just picks up that little bit of yellow, mustardy yellow. But I couldn't find an exact match, so I used what I could. All right, so we're almost done. We're almost at like the very end here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna put some white glue on the back, and we're gonna use our centering ruler. So the center of this is 0, and it has centimeters on the side here. I wish it had it for inches, but it doesn't. So we'll use the centimeter side. So it's a centering ruler. And I know that this is 6 centimeters wide, and I need to make sure that I can, that the point of this is going to be at the top up there. So let's see, I want to make sure it's also not too far off the bottom. And we've got the liquid glue on the back, so that's good. But I got to make sure this point is centered with this 0. And now some of it I need to eyeball a little because, it's not a perfect science. Let's see. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good. And I want to make sure the bottom and the top are not crooked. Okay, good. And we're going to press it down. Okay. I'm just a little paranoid about it because luckily the person that bought the frame was so gracious and lovely. She wasn't upset. She knew that, things happen. So then we're going to put a piece of white behind the back. And I'm going to actually put this GoPen Pro thing underneath. And we need a little glue dot on the back of the Tiana. These are archival safe glue dots. They are not going to damage your pin. They're made for photographs. I mean, photographs are one of the most delicate, things you could, you can mess with. And these are archival safe, and they're intended for really delicate items. So it'll be fine. These will be just fine. So, right, just wanted to put that glue dot. It'll just keep the bottle from sliding all around. And I want to get the point of this centered with the top, but I don't want the bottom to be too high up. I think that's okay. Now just press straight down. Do not, there we go. That went straight in. Okay, that's actually went all the way into the GoPen Pro piece. Sometimes I don't press it that hard, but do not go at an angle. Oh, that's perfectly centered. Nice. Okay. You don't want to go at an angle because you can actually bend your pin. So you just have to be careful. And so that went nicely into the GoPen Pro, and the GoPen Pro thing is just fine. So it's not a big deal to get another hole in that. So, all right. So we've got my little jar, and honestly, I put another little piece of glue, another glue dot. I put it just right on the backing of the pin, just to hold my backer in place. I just want to make sure I'm holding that backer right in place, and that holds it. There we go. And now we can put it in. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And look at all that glitter. I mean, it's so cute and pretty. And see, look at the bright green in the glitter. Really picks up some of these like neon-y greens out here. This is really pretty. I hate to actually give it away, but it'll be fine. You can't keep every craft you make. And even though I really like this Tiana pin, I like it because it's green. I don't collect Tiana. So I like it because it's green, but I don't collect Tiana. And so then we're going to go ahead and take these, this Dollar Tree frame, which I've shown you in other crafts. They don't make this frame anymore. I thought they did, and they don't. Or Dollar Tree doesn't. They make another version of Special Moments frames, but it's not the same. So that's kind of disappointing. But it actually had glass, which was kind of nice. So this is not... the frames that they have now are not the same as the one that I'm using. They don't make it anymore, sadly. But I found some on Amazon. They're not as cheap, but they will do the trick. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue dots in the corners of the frame. Sometimes because this is a more inexpensive frame, I'm not going to lie, again, it's from the Dollar Tree, because again, you want to maximize you want to maximize the profit of your craft, but also, I can't be buying, even if I kept these for myself, I can't buy a ton of frames. They tend to be pretty expensive. So it's, finding a balance of, what I can do. So anyway, I had bought these by the case, and they were a good size and good price. So I bought 2 or 3 cases, and I swear I have one more case somewhere, but I can't find it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this back over, and let's get it centered. And I love the old olive in the back. So I don't know if I showed you, I think because I'm rushing a little bit. I don't know if I showed you, but old olive is the background piece is 6 by 6, and the gold is 5 by 5. And this foil paper piece, I think I was so excited about the paper. Yeah, see, and most of the edge of this old olive is covered anyway. And those little glow dots just kind of hold this in place and keep it from sliding. But it's not it's very strong. Glue dots are very strong, but it's not a because it's in an inconspicuous spot, you could easily get another 6 by 6 or I guess it would be smaller, because 6 by 6 is what the back is. So this is like 5 3/4, I think, in width. So you could get another 5 3/4 width frame, and hide that backing. But yeah, so this was 6 by 6. This is 5 by 5, and this is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And this was 2 inches by 3 1/4, and then I trimmed off all that excess. But how pretty is that? Oh, and the last thing I wanted to add was I wanted to add these really pretty old olive pearls, because I had to add a Mickey. I just thought the Mickey would be cute. The only one I couldn't add Mickey to was the bell one, because I didn't have any red. Oops. I didn't have any red gems. I guess I could have put gold maybe. There we go. So just a little old olive hidden Mickey at the top here. Press that down. Just to add a little tiny little something. So just cute, right? Just so pretty. Look at that glitter. Look at the glitter. I want it to, there we go. Look how pretty the glitter is. It's so shiny. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm just so grateful. Remember to comment, like, share, all the things. But I'm just grateful you guys, are watching. That's all I really care about is, that someone enjoys it. And be sure to check out my Whatnot show if you guys feel inclined. You're always welcome. And I hope you have an excellent day. Thanks so much, you guys. You have a great day.